All right, I just want to talk about the problem set. And there were some mistakes on problems 1, 2, and 3, but I'm just going to go over 1 for now. If you're still struggling with 2 and 3, please make sure that you are coming to office hours. So the limit as x approaches negative infinity. So if I'm looking for negative infinity, I'm looking at what happens to the function as I head out here to the left. So this arrow, what is this getting closer and closer and closer to? And we can see that it seems to be hugging this asymptote. And the asymptote is at 1, 2, 3. So limit as x approaches negative infinity is 3. Now what happens as we go to positive infinity? So this graph here, as I move to positive infinity, so as I go like this, it's going to keep going. My x values are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but my y values are headed down, down, down to negative infinity. Okay, so you have to think about the potential when we talk about limits. So we're not just talking about where it's kind of that we can see, but we're talking about where it's headed as we go to infinity. F of -2. So that's not a limit. That's just asking us what is the value of the function at -2. So I go to -2 and I see this point right here. The value of that function is the y value, which is 1. Now the value of the function does not always match the limit of the function. So at -2, the limit as we go from the left side is 2, and as we come from the right side is 2. So the limit of each of these is 2. So again, you have to check the two sides. F of 0 is what we would get out if we plug in 0. Since there is an asymptote there, f of 0 is undefined. But the limit as x approaches 0, so as x approaches 0 on the right side, it goes to infinity. As x approaches 0 on the left side, it goes to infinity. So the limit here is infinity. Finally, f of 3, 1, 2, 3. The value of the function is the filled in circle. So an open circle means it's undefined there. Since it's filled in here, the value of the function is 4. Now the limit as we approach x equals 3. So since the two side limits don't match, the limit does not exist. But since I have you, I'm going to review the two side limits. So the limit as x approaches 3, negative means the limit as x approaches 3 from the left. So as we get closer and closer to x equals 3 on the left-hand side, that function is headed to 4. The limit as x approaches 3 with the positive here means it's approaching from the right. And we can see as we do that, closer and closer and closer, we're only going to 3. Since these two one-sided limits don't match, the limit overall does not exist. And that stands for does not exist.